Hello hookers. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to close up a rectangular beanie. This is just a little one that I made for a little 5-year-old. You'll notice that the top has 3 single crochets in the back loop. The rest of the body has half double crochets all the way down. Okay, so I'm just finishing it up and there's just one more stitch left here. It's a half double crochet, and then it looks like there's another little stitch there. Whoop. Okay, that's the last one. So normally, you know how we chain 1 and we go back up, so we're not going to chain 1. Okay, we're going to stop, and this is the bottom of the beanie. Okay, because I want to stop on the bottom, and then I'm going to give myself a tail, like, I don't know, around probably 24 inches, okay? And I have a tapestry needle ready to go. And I'm gonna end my project like we do all of ours with a knotless end. So I have this little loop here, right? On one side I pull, it's tight. On the other side I pull, and that starts to move my yarn, my working yarn through, and there we go. Okay, so that's how we end most projects, right? Now, some people, well, what's the back side? What's the front side of this beanie? It doesn't really matter that much. I mean, there is a back and a front, but what I would say just to start is wherever you weave in your ends, so that's what I'm doing now. That's the very first step that you do before you close the beanie, is you weave in your ends. So the side that you're weaving in your ends, that could be, and that is the inside of the beanie, okay? So I'm just gonna take a minute. I had already woven in the other ones. That was kind of a sloppy one. Let me do it again. This is that yarn that, I don't know how to pronounce it, like Heige or something like that. It's Red Heart, I believe, and it's super, super soft. And I think it's really fun. It sheds a teeny bit. So if you're gonna make a blanket, you wanna know that. But it's pretty. It comes in lots of different colors. I think it's great for a hat because it's so soft. Okay, so there we go. I'm all woven in, right? And I have my tail, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is, I stopped my project on the bottom, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and fold over. So I'm working on the right side of the beanie. This is the correct side, okay? And basically there are a lot of ways to close this. I'm gonna show you with a slip stitch, okay? So I hold the 2 pieces together and I take my hook and I go through a stitch, so under 2 bars. I take my other side and I slip stitch it through, okay? I just slip it right through. For the very first one, I'm gonna make a single crochet. I'm gonna wrap and go through, okay? So that's how I attach it. And it's gotta attach kind of strong at the bottom. So what I do sometimes is I go one more time, and the second time I slip stitch. So I went through and then I keep going, okay? The difference there is with the single crochet, you wrap and then pull through. I'm not doing that, and I'll show you again really slow. So I take 2 from the front side and I go under 2 from the back side. I wrap in front and I pull through and I keep going. So I pull all the way through the loop on my hook. So you know, we don't wrap, don't do any of that. It's not a double crochet. So I'm gonna do it again. Oh, and I'm gonna hold this kind of, you know, kind of carefully so that I don't end up uneven like that or something, you know? So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to do this slip stitch all the way. I'm under 2 from the front, 2 from the back, wrap in front, pull through, and keep pulling through the loop on my hook. So it looks like this. And what's happening is I'm getting a seam, and this is called a slip stitch seam. I have lots of choices here. I can do a single crochet seam. I can do a seam that you pull from the front loop and the back loop. So this is just one way. I like the way it looks because, okay, I'm dying. Charlie's in the closet getting into a bag with yarn. I wish I could show you that. It's hysterical. But anyway, okay. So here I am. Charlie's the dog. Okay, so you can see I'm getting a seam here, right? And this seam, I'll probably close that a little bit better on the end. I'll come back and do that. But right now this seam is closing up the beanie. Okay, so let's keep going. And I'm going under 2 at the front, under 2 from the back, and slipping through. Does not have to be perfect. I don't need to catch every single stitch, but I want to make sure that my seam, most importantly, is even, so I end up even at the top, or the beanie's going to be kind of off balance. Okay, so here I am. This yarn, you know, it's not the easiest to see, but like I said, it definitely doesn't have to be perfect as you seam up. Oh, that's interesting. My yarn got cut here. Okay, ideally we don't want this. I don't know what happened. I probably snipped it. So here's right in action. I'm just gonna tie it. It won't show. I'm gonna make a double knot, right? I'm gonna clip it. This is what you do sometimes if you're changing. Oh, let's make that stronger. This is a little slippery, this yarn, so just for the safe side, I'm gonna make 3 knots, really strong. And then I'm gonna clip it, and now I'm good to go. So I'm gonna keep going, okay? So it looks like I have probably 1 more slip stitch right here up at the top. So the last one, I want it really up at the top, okay? I don't wanna leave space here or it's split open. So there we go. So now I'm gonna pause the video for just a second. I'm gonna go back and just, I like that to be a little tighter, the close. So I'll just take a thread and sort of whip it through there and then tie in the ends, okay? And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, again, cut this tail to be about, I don't know, 20 inches. So to seam, so probably like to seam up, I'd say is 20 inches on this is a small little hat. And then to close the beanie, the top of the beanie right here, it's way more than I'll need, but I'd rather have more. I'll probably cut 20, 22 inches. Okay, so I'll be right back.